Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. We've seen spectacular rally across the global markets yesterday, and Dow for the first time in 2 years was up almost about 400 points on the patient approach by the Fed, which means that at least for the next few meetings there is not going to be a rate hike, and after that also the pace of the rate hike is going to be moderate, and that is definitely a big positive for the liquidity flows across the globe. Also in terms of the employment data, the employment claims for the week fell by 6,000 to about 2,89,000, and also the claims have been below 3 lakh mark for 13 out of 14 weeks. So that also was a big positive for the US markets, and even European markets were up anywhere from about 2 to 4%, as the German IFO Business Climate Index in December has risen for the second consecutive month. Also, when we look at the Asian markets today morning, most of the markets are up anywhere from about 1 to 2%, and SGX Nifty is also suggesting that we are going to open up about 62 to 65 points higher. In terms of flows, friends, FI were net sellers in the cash market to the tune of about 875 crore, and in the F&O segment they were buyers to the tune of about 1628 crore, and in the index options they were buyers to the tune of about 1343 odd crore. Back home, overall the market had a very nice smart rally yesterday, and looking at the kind of global setup that we have, it is likely to continue. However, at about 8250 odd levels, there is going to be some amount of resistance which one has to bear in mind, but overall sentiment definitely has turned out to be much better. On that note, let me invite Sadhana to take us through important F&O cues and ideas that we can have from the F&O desk.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. After a long trading session, the benchmark indexes witnessed an enthusiastic performance in yesterday's trade by rallying over 1%. As we have seen that Nifty started the session with gap up opening of around 60 to 70 points, and sentiments remained upbeat since last round of the trade. Many of the blue chip counters were trading with positive bias like L&T, SSLT, Tata Steel, Kane India, which supported the index to hit a fresh intraday high at the mark of 8197 odd levels. And Nifty finally ended the session at 8180 levels with a gain of 1.49%. In this period, we have seen that short positions were squared off by market players, as open interest is decreased by 2.01%. From 2 crore 64 lakhs to 2 crore 58 lakhs, approximately 5.31 lakh shares were reduced in open interest, and Nifty futures price increased by approximately 120 rupees. But on the other hand, cost of carry is decreased by 20.50 points from 20.16 to 16.03. Also, Nifty futures premium decreased from 31 points to 20 odd levels. On the options front, PCR is increased by 4.82% from 0.83 to 0.87, which is clearly indicating that put option has seen good build-up in yesterday's trade. We have seen that approximately 5 lakh shares were added in put option, but call option has reduced its shares approximately 23 lakhs. India VIX was down by 13.76. It was decreased from 16.93 to 14.60%. In the options activity, we have seen that 8,300, 8,500 has shedded its shares in open interest, and 8,200 has added good number of shares in open interest. From past couple of trading sessions, we have seen that 8,200 is adding its shares in open interest. On the put option also, we have seen that 8,000 put option has reduced its shares in open interest, and 8,100, 8,200 put option has added good number of shares in open interest in yesterday's trade. On the ban period front, there are 3 securities in ban period. One is HBI, second is Unitech, third is Mocart Pharma. That means no one can take the fresh positions in these 3 stocks. And yesterday, FIs were net buys of 36 crores in DEX futures. They were net buys of 1,343 crore in DEX options. They were net buys of 311 crore in stock futures, and they were net sellers of 61.71 crore in stock options. Our 5-day CVM stands at 8,200. Lower range for the market could be 8,000 and higher range could be 8,250. Singapore Nifty is up by 60 points, which is at 8232 levels. We can see again gap up opening in Nifty futures today. That's it from derivatives. Thank you.
Let me take you through Sharekhan pre-market action, starting with trading ideas. First of all, a long call on Ultratech as it is in talks to buy JP Associates cement plants in central and southern India. The total capacity works out to about 18.25 million tons. The actual valuation is not clear at this stage, but what can go long on UltraTech with a stop loss of 2385 and a target of about 2507 to about 2555, and also it would be a big relief for JP Associates, which is really under debt pressure. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 2440 and a target of about 2570 to about 2630. For Crompton Greaves, positive news as the FIs can now invest up to 100% in the paid up capital of the company. So one can go long on Crompton Greaves with a stop loss of 175 and a target of about 184 to about 188. Treehouse, again FIs can now invest up to 49% under the PIS, so that's a positive for Mindtree. One can go long there with a stop loss of 429 and a target of about 451 to about 459. And in other news and updates, the cabinet has given approval to recalculate the incentives given to the sugar mills, which will help the industry, which is reeling under the pressure from the surplus stock and the subdued prices. So that's a positive for some of the sugar companies. So watch out for some positive action there. Panacea Biotech gets about $13 million as milestone payment for research alliance with Apotex. And IBRCL is likely to sell Chennai desalinization plant for about 550 crore. And ICICI Bank is calibrating its global ambitions with selling its subsidiary in Russia and repatriating capital from UK and Canada arms and shrinking its international balance sheet. One of the SpiceJet's original promoter, Ajay Singh, steps in to diffuse the crisis and is likely to invest up to 1500 crore in SpiceJet. And Accenture has raised its revenue forecast for the fiscal 2015 after contract wins helped the company post better than expected first quarterly earnings. So that can have a positive read through on some of the IT companies like Infosys, TCS and HCL Tech. SC allows telcos to share 3G intra-roaming services, so some positive for the telecom companies like Bharti and Idea. And Hotel Leela is going to open about 4 hotels in Nepal. And GMM Fowler, which is a small mid-cap stock, is likely to delist, and the parent company has made an open offer to buy about 25% stake in the company for a price of about 245.85 per share. Here are the list of stocks with positive and negative bias. Stocks with positive bias are IGL, Star and India. Stocks with negative bias are Coal India, Dr. Reddy and Glenmark. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday morning.